YENA is back with her first comeback smartphone. As someone who wholeheartedly adored Smiley and its B-sides, I was overjoyed to see that smartphone was interesting enough to make a video on. I think I go absolutely feral whenever I hear about a female soloist with a quirky concept. Wait, hold on. I think I'm getting a notification. I'll just check it out super quickly. I have some very exciting news! This video is sponsored by Try Treats. Try Treats is an online snack box subscription that lets you try snacks from around the world. You can share them with friends, or you can hoard them just for yourself like a little dragon. The box I received was from Poland, and my favorite item was definitely the little candies called cytruski. Pardon my pronunciation. When you open it, you get a few cards explaining what's in the box, and it'll tell you a few facts about Poland. I was not expecting it to be so big, and my whole family was pretty shocked as well. I'd consider myself a pretty adventurous eater, so I was very happy to see that I actually hadn't tried a single one of the snacks before. You can use my link in the description and pinned comment to check them out. Also, if you're a regular customer at the restaurant at the end of the universe, you can use my code chaebin for 15% off your first box. Thank you so much to Try Treats, and let's start talking about YENA. Smartphone is a brightly colored music video that's full of life. For its visual effects, it takes direct inspiration from video games like first-person shooters and platformers. From animated Starry Night backgrounds to power-up bars, the viewer is fully immersed in YENA's digital world. Neon shades abound as she battles cartoon-like animals, cheering and celebrating whenever she wins a level. Keeping with the digital theme, YENA is styled in décolleté-inspired outfits, a clothing subculture characterized by its excessive accessorizing, say that 3 times fast, and eye-popping palette. In each outfit, she wears shiny pieces like jewelry that glimmer in the camera lens, likely alluding to a glitch. There's even a clever callback to YENA's debut Smiley with an open window that lets a snowstorm in. However, the hero of this video is much different than the superhero protagonist of Smiley. Instead of braving the snowstorm, the gamer girl chooses to shut herself in her room, not willing to deal with the dangers outside. Now safely locked in her room, YENA can be alone as she plays smartphone games. With her phone, she can be fully immersed in a different world, but this virtual world becomes very interesting when we notice a few odd coincidences. Firstly, YENA is completely isolated in her room. The only time we see other characters is when she's in her virtual world, if we don't count background dancers. YENA's goal in the game is to save these animal cartoons from the villains of it. The main character's personality does a complete 180 from the real world to the virtual world. While YENA doesn't want to risk the quote-unquote danger outside, she's more than willing to fight her way through extremely dangerous boss levels on her phone. The last point I want to mention is that the villains of this video game are ducks. YENA is known in the K-pop industry for looking like a duck in a cute way. This is brought up so much that one of YENA's nicknames is Duck. What does this mean? Why is YENA specifically only fighting ducks in this music video? Maybe analyzing the lyrics of Smartphone will give us more answers instead of playing this game of Duck Duck Goose. Smartphone bursts with vivacity in each line, flashing yas in between every verse. The narrator of Smartphone is equally excited to be telling us her point of view, explaining why she doesn't trust the outside world. In the first part of the song, the world is too complicated and serious for her, so she stays inside at all costs. The narrator enjoys games more because it can be whatever she wants, and she can be whoever she wants, like a princess or a goddess. Nothing is off limits in the digital world. But although the games make her feel less alone, and she has so many friends in them, the bridge brings a different spin to the song. YENA sings, "Don't make fun of me for being a loner. I'm too cool for you. The world has turned away from me." In a split second of insecurity, the narrator reveals that her dislike of the world might not be the only reason she refuses to go outside. Instead, she spent so much time isolating herself that she now believes the world wouldn't accept her as she is. While she's everything she wants to be online, she doesn't know how to function as herself. Smartphone is a song about how always being online and shutting off the outside world is detrimental to our health. This isn't to sound like a boomer, of course, but if we connect the music video with the song lyrics, it becomes very evident. For example, in the music video, YENA closes herself off from the snowstorm outside, worrying that it'll be too cold for her, but in doing so, isolates herself. She does this because it's easier for her to deal with being online than dealing with the snowstorm outside. After all, when you're online, you can do anything you'd like with the click of a button. You can fight monsters, meet people across the globe, immerse yourself in a new TV show, and forget all about your real-life problems. But when you turn off the pixelated glow of the internet and set your phone aside, all of that loneliness comes rushing back to you. The phone is only a temporary fix for those problems, and when you're online for too long, you end up not putting as much time into your real-life relationships. This can lead to a need to always be online. I mentioned earlier in the visual section that YENA only fights ducks in the video game. Since YENA and her fans often compare her to a duck, this is a metaphor for an internal conflict. YENA is fighting herself constantly, trapped in a vicious cycle wherein she tries to dissolve her feelings of loneliness with a smartphone, only to shut herself inside, all alone. While the online world might offer us escapism and open us up to different points of view, it's important to remember the beauty of picnicking with a friend and exploring reality. Not everything can be found on a screen, and I think in this digital age, a lot of us really need to take that to heart, especially me, because I'm sitting here writing this video on my computer. YENA is the K-pop scene's manic pixie dream girl. Her music and image are eccentric, quirky, youthful, and unapologetically feminine. You can really tell that YENA is wholeheartedly enjoying the type of music she's putting out, with the amount of energy she puts into every silly face and goofy ad-lib. But the thing I love most about YENA is how she doesn't make her song meanings cutesy or surface level. From Luck to You to Lemonade, her discography expresses all too familiar feelings of loneliness and petty jealousy through bubblegum pop rock riffs. While the catchy tunes energize the listener like a fizzy soda at an amusement park, YENA isn't afraid to tackle unique topics and entertaining narratives. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and as always, thank you for visiting the restaurant at the end of the universe. Adios!